Today, we're gonna make 3 fall projects that's going to blow your mind using free files. Let's go. Project number 1, we're gonna use Siser's new DTV film, which is direct to vinyl that you can print with your inkjet printer. So all you're simply gonna do is choose your PNG file. You are going to do a print and cut with your Cricut. I chose Cricut Everyday Iron-On, and then for my pressure, I changed it to less, and it was absolutely perfect. So now all we simply have to do is weed this, and then we're going to apply a mask on it. So if you guys are not familiar, Siser just came out with something that was like Siser Easy Subli, except you no longer need sublimation. You can use your inkjet printers. All right, so what you're gonna need for this is a t-shirt. I'm using 100% cotton here today. I'm using a transfer mask because I do have a few small pieces, and this is what that direct to vinyl looks like. So the side that you wanna load in your printer to print on is the white side. There's like a white and a green tinge, so hopefully you guys can kind of see that there. You can always fold it over so you can tell. So you want to print on that white side. All right, so once you have printed it out, all you simply need to do is weed it. So we're gonna go ahead and get us a little corner going here, and we're just going to weed everything out. Now that I have weeded everything out, we're going to move everything out of the way because we want a nice flat surface so we can apply our transfer sheet. So we're gonna go ahead and get a little corner here, and I'm just going to lay this right on top. All right, so once you have your mask down, now be super careful because this stuff it's very thin and delicate. And so you may get some static cling that wants to kind of lift it and move it around. So you just want to apply this real gentle. So before you really rub this on, you want to slow down and go back and fix those pieces. So I have one little spot here that I couldn't really fix too well. I may try to adjust it again here in a minute. But what you want to do next is flip it over, and we're going to rub from this side. So I'm going to go ahead and push this down so we can transfer it over to that carrier sheet. All right, so now we're ready to peel. So we're just gonna go ahead and get a corner here. All right, so what I have found best is to really kind of make sure you lay it nice and flat and pull it at an angle. All right, so I have the Cricut Easy Press. I'm using the 10x12 set at 310 for 15 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my t-shirt down here, and then I'm gonna remove all the moisture just as I normally would and smooth everything out. All right, so now we're ready to apply. So we're just gonna fold this in half, find that center mark, lay this down right about here, and then we're just gonna go right on top. So we're gonna go ahead and hit go. So 310 for 15 seconds. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and lift this up. And as you can see, those colors are more rich and vibrant. They're more true to color, if you will, once you press it, similar to sublimation. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and get a corner here and peel. Now the really cool thing about this is if you press it again with a Teflon sheet for just a few seconds, it will have a glossy look. And if you go over it with a piece of parchment paper for a couple of seconds like this, you're gonna get more of a matte look. So you just wanna go back on top for, not even 5 seconds, just, 2 or 3 seconds there. And then there you have it. You're gonna have a more muted down matte look. So whether you want it to be glossy or matte, it's totally up to you. Another little tip is save the carrier sheets. You can use those over and over again. I'm just gonna place mine on a parchment paper. You could definitely put it back on the same backing that it came off of, whatever you wanna do, but you could definitely save these. And there you guys have it. Here is project number 1 using a free file. Project number 2, we're gonna be using this file right here, once again, completely free, and we are going to create a really big sign for the front door. So what I used for this was Cricut Smart Vinyl, so that way I could load it in my Cricut Explorer 3 and have it cut out a super long length without using any mats. Number 1, it makes it cut a whole lot faster, and 2, we can get some really big cuts. So I've already cut this out, and I've already trimmed down a piece of transfer. For the sign, I'm actually using a shelf. I found this at Lowe's, and it's already cut down, it's painted for me, it's a shelf. So these are those blank white shelves that you can purchase with the brackets. I just got one like this. Now, you could definitely get a piece of wood and cut it down as well, or you could get some wood canvases that I love to get from Hobby Lobby in the canvas area. But like I said, I'm using a white shelf. This is literally a white shelf. I like it too because it has a little bit of weight to it. So whenever I prop it up outside, that wind is not gonna take away. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up with a transfer sheet. All right, so I already have this trimmed down like I told you. I just set it on top, trimmed it down. So what I do to make this easy to apply is get yourself just a top piece like this, fold it back, and then we're going to start right up here at the top. All right, we'll get a spot going there. Get that down. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and peel and push. So I'll just kind of do a peel and push motion. Boom. All right, so now just super duper easy. We're gonna go ahead and go right on top with a squeegee. Now, the reason why I'm using Cricut transfer tape is I have found when it comes to using Cricut materials, like the Cricut Smart materials, sometimes you'll struggle with other types of transfer tape, and I found it so easy if you just use Cricuts. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and peel off that backing. All right, I'm gonna take it like this, and then I'm just going to kind of hover above this and figure out where I want it to go. So you could definitely use the parchment paper hack, whatever you would like, but I just kind of center it over like this. And then there we have it. So I kind of go down from the center and then I'll work my way out just like that. And then we're just gonna go ahead and rub it in one last time. And there you have it. You can see how big this sign is. And I was able to cut this in one cut using my Cricut Explorer 3. You could do the same thing with your Cricut Maker 3. So I really, really love the way that this came out. It is so stinking cool. And that is quite a large cut. And once again, it's a completely free file. Project number 3, we're going to burn wood with our Cricut. Yes, we are going to do a wood burn using our Cricut, creating a stencil, and then we are going to be using some burn paste. So this is torch paste. You guys can definitely find it on Amazon. Once again, all of the supplies are linked down below, but I've got some torch paste here. I've got some squeegees. I've already cut out my design here. So what we're going to be doing is reverse weeding, if you will. We're going to remove the pieces we normally would keep to create a stencil. And then I have some transfer tape. I've got a heat gun and this really cool cutting board. So feel free to use whatever cutting board you would like, whether it's just a round one or whether it is a square one or rectangular or whatever you have. You could definitely find them all over the place. Just make sure that there is no coating on top. So make sure you sand it down if you need to remove any sort of clear coat or anything. The free file that we are using for this project today is this one right here. Once again, completely free. All right, so let's go ahead and start with weeding this. So what we're gonna do once again is we're gonna weed the pieces that we normally would keep. Now that we have weeded out our stencil, you should have something that looks like this. So the next thing that you need to do is take some transfer tape. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of our way. I'm actually going to be using this paper transfer tape. You can definitely purchase them in the big rolls like this. So I'm actually just going to use that. I'm just going to get me a piece like this. Go down on one side to the next, and then just smooth it out. All right, so now that I have my transfer, I'm just going to go ahead and peel off that backing. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and very carefully figure out where I want this to go. Something about like this looks great to me. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth everything down. All right, we're gonna take our squeegee again to just get this transferred over to the cutting board. All right, so now I'm gonna take some tape. So I've just got some painter's tape here. Once again, you can use washi tape, use some extra transfer tape if you want to. I just wanna go on the edges here. Anywhere I think that I could accidentally get off with my burn paste, I'm gonna go ahead and tape it down. All right, so that looks good to me. I'm not worried about the top or the bottom. And then the next step is we're gonna take some of that torch paste. So we're just gonna go in here. A little goes a long way, so you're just going to dip in there. I've got these squeegees here. Once again, I've got these linked down below for you as well. And then we're just gonna go on top, and and we're just gonna go ahead and rub this in just like that. So you don't need to push hard or anything, just scrape it across everything. Once you're done applying your torch paste, you want to just remove all of the excess and get it back in the jar because you can use that for later. Plus, you don't want to mess around with a whole bunch of that when you go to peel this off. You want to let it set with the stencil on here for around 2 to 3 minutes to allow it to penetrate down into the wood. All right, so once you have let this sit for around 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to go ahead and remove that stencil. All right, so once you have removed all of that vinyl, you should have something that looks like this. So you should see, it looks wet, but you should be able to see that design. All right, so here is the magic. So we're going to take a heat gun. You want something that's around 1,000 watts or more. So I'm just using this one right here by Wagner, and we're just going to slowly work from one side to the next. And as it darkens up, you're gonna get something about like this. So you should be looking for it to darken up just like this, like I said. So let's go ahead and get started. And there you have it. How fun was that? So stinking cool that you can actually wood burn using your Cricut. All you have to do is create a stencil. So easy. Now, once again, make sure that you remove any sort of clear coating at all. You want to make sure it's just kind of bare wood, if you will. Now, you're going to notice that I have some heat marks around my design. I could go back and lightly sand over everything, and then I could stain over it if I want to, and then add a new clear coat. Now, I've had questions about, can you still use this? I would go over it with a food safe clear coat or epoxy, if you will, or even just a food safe stain. So once you get it all cleaned up and all of that kind of stuff, wash it, let it dry, all of those things, and you're going to seal it with your mineral oils or some stain and all of that stuff. You could definitely do so, but these would be perfect to sell, gift to anybody, or definitely make for yourself. And just like that, we have created some amazing projects using our Cricut and completely free files. So make sure you guys check out our free resource section. We have it linked down below, and also linked down below, we have created this really fun printable for you guys, so that way you guys can have quick, easy access to your Cricut cut settings. So definitely make sure you guys check that out as well. Now, don't forget, if you guys have enjoyed this, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.